too much. Okay, yes, calm down. Welcome, everybody, to the podcast. This is the first official podcast of the Ben Franks Podcast, where you know by the time that you leave, you know one thing. We Ben Frank. You know what I'm saying? So let's get this podcast going. We've got hundreds upon hundreds of episodes to get through. We've got hundreds of guests to bring on the show, hundreds of topics, hundreds of interesting things for you guys to listen to, either while you're at home or while you're driving in your car. So if you guys don't know anything about me, let me tell you a little bit about myself, okay? My name is Hundo. I'm a 27-year-old rap artist slash health coach slash extraction engineer. I live out of Denver, Colorado, okay? I was born in Grand Junction. I lived there for a little while, and then I moved to Seattle for a little while, and then I moved out here to Denver, and I've lived out here ever since I was roughly 7 or 8 years old. So, check this out. Today, this episode's going to be a little bit relaxed. It's the introduction. It's the get started. It's the let's get going into this podcast. Welcome to the set, guys. If you guys are enjoying what you're seeing, make sure you hit that like button right now and support the podcast, okay? Support it. We've got links everywhere. Follow me on my other social medias. It took a while to get the team together. The producer, the cameraman, the lighting. Everything we needed. We had to get the set up. We had to get all this shit together. I've got my sign in the background. Eating processed meat causes cancer. Hey guys, that's just a fact. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. You're going to get mad or you're going to get happy. Do what you want to do. All I know is there's a fact behind me on the wall, so check this out. Welcome to the Ben Franks Podcast. Sit on down.
Welcome to the Ben Franks Podcast.
No.
Nutrition.
I can't believe it.
Cannabis.
Say it isn't so.
Exercise science. Vegan. The Ben Franks Podcast. With your host, Planet Hundo.
Today's episode, I haven't finished telling you about who I am. So basically, before we get sidetracked, I'm a cool guy. My name's Hundo. I'm chilling. I'm hosting this channel. We're starting this podcast. We're gonna get this going. Some say I'm a micro-influencer, but you know what? Let's not take it too far. I'll categorize myself as a molecular influencer for now. We're working our way up to micro-influencer, and then we're gonna be a macro-influencer in no time. So make sure you support and hit that like button and subscribe. We are up to over 1,000 subscribers strong, you guys. We are getting it. Let's go. Round of applause. Okay, thank you, studio audience. Thank you. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you. You're the best. No, Tommy, you're too much, man. Sit down. Maybe later, okay? Yeah, I'll hit that later, okay. Oh, how you doing, Jessica? Okay. All right, guys, calm down. So, let's get right into this, okay? Today's podcast is sponsored by none other than Be Fulfilled Life Journal, okay? This is by my homie, This is by my homie, Tony Gerbmeyer, okay? Grebmeyer, so check it out. He's got his book he just released. It's actually not even a book, it's a journal. And if you guys are interested in checking this out, I recommend you go check out his website and his Instagram page, because he's got a lot of unique stuff to share with you. Basically, what this is this is just a journal that you buy that helps you keep track of your daily goals and your daily ambitions of where you want to take your life and how to get to the next level, okay? This is something everybody needs, whether you are a social media influencer or somebody who's starting their own business, somebody who's an entrepreneur, you know what I mean? This helps out a lot because this has daily accountability, lessons, exercises, and notes and advice. You know what I mean? This guy is a genius. I met this guy probably almost 3 years ago now at the restaurant that I work at. He came in one morning and he sat down, and I could tell there was something to this guy, you know what I mean? And basically, this guy has lived 1,000 lives worth of stories to tell. I'll tell you that right now. You know what? That reminds me. We've got to do another podcast where we get Tony on here, okay? We're going to do our best here. We're going to get the team together. You hear me? We got to get Tony Grebmeyer on here because that's important, okay? So make sure you, get in contact with him right now. Just kidding. I've got his contact number, so I'll go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and text him, and we'll see if we can get him to guest appear on the podcast because he's got a lot of very interesting insight that he could share. And basically, he's got a lot of other stuff that he's released, but he's released this journal, and this journal will help you basically just get it. It's so cheap and it's so helpful. Go to his website. Let me see if there's his link to his website. BeFulfilledJournal.com, okay? I don't know if you guys can see that, but you're going to want to look at that. Look at that shot. BeFulfilledJournal.com. Go ahead and check that out because he's got a lot of useful stuff on there. So get one of these. You know, put in your discount code HUNDO. It'll get you 0% off, but you know what I mean? That's really something. So go ahead and type that in there. Get your discount code. Get this book, and then let me know when you got it. Send me a picture. Tag me on Instagram. Send me a DM, and I'll give you a shout out in the next podcast. Okay, so let's get going, guys. Our other sponsor of the show is Driscoll's Blueberries, in honor of my new song Blueberry Face that's coming out. Produced by my boy Rectile. If you guys don't know who Rectile is, he's a producer, and he's located over in the UK. Along with this other producer I work with, who I'll tell you about, who's located over in France. That's right, guys. I'm working with producers all over the world here, okay? Hundo Worldwide. By the way, if you guys didn't know, I am a musician / rap artist, and I have been since the 6th grade. And I've got a plethora of music. If you would like to check it out, it's on this channel right here under Hundo Songs. There's almost 75 of them suckers, so we're gonna try to keep the language at a chill level on this podcast. I don't know if that's gonna affect monetization, but if I'm still getting demonetized after not cussing, then we'll end up just probably naturally bringing the cussing back, because that's just who I am over here. So I warn you now, if you go check out my music, there is gonna be a little bit of cuss words, but you know what, that's just who I am, and that's all I gotta say about it. So we got a new song coming out, Blueberry Face, produced by my boy Rectile. He's only 16 years old, you guys. The talent coming out of this new generation is something else. He's only 16 years old, and he whips beats up in the kitchen like you wouldn't believe. He whipped up this Blueface style beat. He actually came to me and said, Hundo, I want to hear you on a Blueface style beat, kind of like a Blueface / Hundo mix-up style. I said, you know what? I love that idea, Rectile. Hit me with it. In 2 seconds, he hits me with the beat. Next thing I know, I'm riding to this, and we got Blueberry Face when I run it up. Now we running Who's with the chase? I'ma sum it up. Hundo ain't losing the race. I'ma gun it up. The exact kind of shit you ain't fucking up. That's what I'm talking about, you guys. I've actually performed this song live two times now down at Menu Ramen and Poke Bar down on Colfax. If you guys live in Denver, Colorado, come and see me live. Hit me up in the DM or the direct messages, or check my concert posts if you guys want to keep updated on where I'll be performing live next. Actually, if you live in Denver, come check me at the Ogden Theater on the 17th. I'll be performing, headlining with my boys band, Corey. The name of his band is spacing my mind right now, but we're going to get a link to that. I'll be performing and headlining with him on the 17th at the Ogden Theater. So if you guys are in Denver, Colorado, hit me up if you want to come check that out. That's going to be a nifty little show. And check this out. That's all I got to say. We got a music video for that song coming out. I've got a lot of different shots I've been working on. I've been working on this shot. I've been working on that shot. And I've been working on this shot, if you know what I mean. So be excited for that, because that's going to be super dope. And that's to be determined when that's going to be released. So without further ado, guys, let's get into this episode of the Ben Franks Podcast, Episode 1. Let's go. So, guys, check it out. I'm a rap artist, I'm a health coach, and I'm Ben Frank. That's all I know, okay? That is all I know. And today, I want to talk about the industry and how hard it is to make it in this industry, and how frustrating it is, because just the other day, yesterday to be in fact, I'm watching Logan Paul's new podcast, Impulsive. I love this podcast and I watch it often, and yesterday I'm watching one of his new episodes that he had live at Jake Paul's and Tana Mongeau's wedding, okay? It was a super dope style podcast, and basically they had this little 6-year-old they got on there. He starts yibber-yapping around about how he made $12 zillion in 2 seconds by blinking and coming out of his dad's wiener hole and grabbing onto a fucking PlayStation controller. And now all of a sudden his dad's bought him a house in fucking Tennessee because that's where the ROI is the highest. And he doesn't even know what he's talking about. He's just regurgitating shit that his dad put in his ear holes because it makes his penis hole fucking feel like it's got butterflies coming out of it because he's only 1 year old and he's got a bank account thicker than half the fucking generation that's older than I am. And you know what? It's getting ridiculous, you guys, because I've worked so damn hard to become a macro influencer. I've been working at this since the 6th grade, you guys. Check my social blade. Check the social blade right now on this channel. I've been creating videos on this channel since 2006. July 2006. Here we are, 2019, more than 10 years later, almost 15 years on this channel. And yes, you guys, we are 1,000 strong. And I love each and every one of you. Even the fucking haters. We got these creepy-ass haters that come in here and they're obsessed with me. And I love you guys. Every time I think about quitting, you guys come on there and you fucking care enough to drop a comment. And it makes me just want to keep going. So shout out to you guys because you guys are really the ones who keep me going. So I appreciate you guys. And we're going to keep growing. With the support of you guys and the help of you guys hitting that like button and that subscribe button, we are going to get places. And, you know, it's frustrating because it just seems like the more seconds that go by in this life, the more that we are coming across these little influencers that have lived their life for no time at all, and they're already fucking rich and famous. And it's just like, you know, I understand everybody's on their own timeline. You know, it's a very interesting concept. Everybody's on your own timeline, but you know what? It's tough because sometimes it feels like you've just passed your timeline. And I know that in hindsight, I'm not relatively very old, but comparatively to someone who's only 6 months old and already has 12 quadrillion in their bank account and can barely formulate sentences, it's really discouraging. It's just very discouraging, you guys. But you know what? You got to stay in the game. You got to keep your head up and you got to keep at it, because the reason I've seen a lot of people start these podcasts lately, and I forgot to mention, shout out to the 3 earwigs that crawled out of these blueberries earlier and got to them before I did, motherfuckers, because I left them on the counter and somehow they snuck in there because we got this big tree in the back that has 6 zillion earwigs that have infected the house. So they're everywhere, and I crawl all over my blueberries. There's some earwig jizz on that one. So, guys, basically all I'm trying to say is, if you too are someone who has a YouTube channel and you have been uploading videos and you've been working on it, keep grinding, okay? Because a lot of people are starting podcasts now. A lot of people have been starting podcasts. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to one of my favorite intellectual podcasts, The Belief Hole. If you guys haven't checked them out, search them up right now. They're a new up-and-coming podcast, but they are audio only, but they are extremely professional. I love it. They talk about UFOs, paranormal. They talk about, all the spooky wooky good stuff. So go ahead and check their channel out, because really it's one of my favorite podcasts that I like to listen to, other than probably Impulsive. And third favorite is now becoming these new podcasts, The Night Shift and The Earthly Earth. I don't know. I've messed that name up because it's brand new. It's Spencer's podcast, and it's called like The Earthly Podcast or something, and I love it because Spencer too is plant-based. He still eats eggs. He's not fully vegan, but he's plant-based, so he's still pretty much vegan, and I'm vegan. So we're part of that vegan brotherhood. So, Spencer, shout out to you, brother. I hit you up in the DMs, man. I'm saying I'm trying to get on that podcast. I'm trying to, You trying to host Planet Hundo on that podcast, I can do anything you need. We can talk intellectually about veganism. We can have a debate with non-vegans. We can talk about the problems of the world. We can talk about music. We can talk about marijuana, the insides and the outsides of the marijuana industry. We can talk about cannabidiol, CBD, the miracle molecule that's inside marijuana, one of the cannabinoids that's known to help have all the medicinal benefits and help everybody around the world. It's getting extremely popular, and we could talk about the upcoming rise of hemp farms. We could talk about whatever you need, you guys. Also, let me know who you want to see on the Ben Franks podcast. We got some guests in lineup. We've got them in line, and basically, I need to know who you guys want to see. If there's anybody, we need to try to wrangle up to try and get on this podcast, we'll see what we can do. You know what I'm saying? So, again, let me remind you, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you're not already, because we got to keep this party rolling. We're already 1,150 strong, I believe, so we got to keep that going, and we got to get this party started. So, other than that, guys, I don't even know how long this podcast has been running. I don't even know if it tells me that. But this is what I do know. I'm going to take a cup. Oh, almost dropped one. These blueberries are extremely sweet. I want to take a minute to talk about the importance of fruit, okay? The importance of fruit is extremely important. That was extremely redundant. But seriously, guys, we can get into more health-related podcasts. I can really get into some very deep health topics. So let me know about these 3 topics, which you guys want to know below. Health-related. Let me know what topics you want to hear about on the podcast, health-related, as well as rapping-related. Let me know what you want to hear about hip-hop music, about rap game, about all the hip-hop, hippity-hippity-hop. Let me know, okay? Also, marijuana extraction. You got any questions about marijuana? Maybe you don't. Maybe you do. Let me know. Right down below, and we're going to talk about them, guys. This is just the first episode. We're getting acquainted. We're getting used to each other, okay? So, I'd just like to thank you guys for joining me today. I'm not sure how long this podcast ran. I don't know if we're going to have, a goal time frame for how long we want these podcasts to run. Ideally, I think I want to do minimum 30 minutes, And I think as long as I got a good enough content, which I should usually, I'm probably going to run them for an hour. Standard podcast time, an hour, you know what I mean? And then maybe the last 10-15 minutes we'll do an audio only segment that you can only get on maybe iTunes or something like that. I'll have to work out the kinks and polish up my TuneCore account, if you know what I'm saying. We'll get those on iTunes and it'll be popping. So I don't think there's really any other topics that need touched today. We got many guests that we need to get featured on here. I've already said that, but no big deal. Make sure you get your fruit tomorrow, guys. Make sure you also drink your water. We won't get too deep in the health things today, but I will tell you this. If you guys want to turn your health around, maybe you don't want to stop eating processed meat. Maybe you don't. Maybe you won't. That's the reality for a lot of you. Even though you could. Maybe you won't right now. Well, I'll tell you this. Even if you start drinking more water when you wake up, a quart of water, right, when you wake up, as well as eating some fruit for your first meal, okay? None of this fruit with this and this, just fruit, okay? Pick your fruits out, pick your favorite ones, make sure they're nice and ripe and sweet. Pick them out and have them for breakfast. Only that. You might be like, oh, that's not going to make me full. Yeah, it will. If you eat enough of them, it's going to make you full, Eat a whole thing eat an entire thing of blueberries and 5 bananas. You know what I'm saying? You'll be feeling all right. So do that for me. Let me know how you're feeling about 5-6 weeks of that straight. And I guarantee you, your blood pressure will drop. Your cholesterol will drop. You'll feel better. You'll feel more alert. You'll have better energy levels. And that's me being frank with you. This has been the Ben Frank Podcast, Episode 1. Thanks for joining, guys. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. I'll catch you next time for another episode of Ben Frank. Thank you. No, we'll be back. Don't worry. There's many more to come.